I cry, O Yahuwah, my rock. Be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent to me, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplication when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak to their peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render them to their desert. Because they regard not the work of the I Am, nor the operation of his hands, he shall destroy them and not build them up. Blessed be the I Am, because he has heard the voice of my supplications. The Ya'Allah is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song I will praise him. Yes, Yahweh is their strength, and he is the saving strength of his anointing. Save thy people, and bless thine inheritance. Feed them also, and lift up them forever. Psalms chapter 28. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon. Yes. We thank God for his mercy. We thank Yahuwah, Yahweh. Yes, even Sanini Nanini, we thank him for his mercy. Oh, we thank him for just waking us up and causing us to be alive today, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening where you are. We thank you, most holy, our Creator, for all our victories over our enemies, whether the enemy is sickness, whether they are foes, those who are walking according to the will of the Satans, or whether it's our own selves that we have to fight with. And we thank you, defeating our enemies, those who have sway over our minds, keeping us from them, that we might do what you have commanded, even according to your statutes, laws, ordinances, and commandments. And we thank you for these things. Yes, for we know these are the evil days. The days are very evil. We are at the feet of whom one of your prophets, Daniel, had described. Yes, we are. Yes. We also thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning, those of you that have been with us here and there's about, and those of you that have just subscribed. We thank God for those of you who are about to subscribe also, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes. We are at the feet. We're just entering. To tell you the truth, if you really watch this thing, as far as my estimation and hypothesis about what Daniel was saying, we're just getting out of the Greco-Roman system. We really are, because when the split, this is when Great Greece and Rome split. See, you hear the theologians talk about that, but Great Greece and Rome split, and that became the two legs of the idol that Daniel saw. We're going to get more into that as we progress. And then it was his feet. It was made of miry clay and all kind of things, and they did not cleave to one another. But apparently, these are still the Babylon, the Persian, the Roman, and the Greco-Roman system are built upon these things. You're still in that mindset, regardless of how free you get in Africa, or how free. Look at you. Look at those of you women of color, how you wear wigs. You're not even satisfied with your own hair, whether it be short or long. And you've been watching TV and the narrative so long that your mind has become brainwashed. Look at your men. We are so mind-studied toward our prosperity to that of pleasing women. The women are thinking that's what you're supposed to do, instead of doing that which is for us. And if woman happen to come into your life, then hey, she benefits. But the fact is that we're more geared toward women, and our prosperity is geared toward women instead of women coming into and building with us as we prosper. The building with us as far as women is their womb. They have the ability to reproduce if the man inseminates them. Now, that's their ability. That's the biggest thing that a woman, that's the greatest thing a woman can do for her, not only her nation, her people, her country, and her husband. Yes, and then it even benefits her. But many have gotten selfish through means that are brainwashing. To tell you the truth, brainwashing means many women have become brainwashed, and men have too. Just call a buck a buck. Become brainwashed through the demonic Greco-Roman system. But these things are by design to test those who would be of the remnant of the Most High, even the children of Jacob, and those who would follow after the ways that God had prescribed unto them. Yes. Now we're in the book of 1 Samuel. The book of 1 Samuel, and we're in chapter 27. Yes, chapter 27. Near the end, the last few chapters. And now we're in David married, should I say, Abigail, the wife of Nabal, who was deceased, so she was free. And she said, if there's something happened, remember me. David said, I'm going to remember your fine self. Wise and fine and everything I could desire in a woman, that was her. And he also married another after her, the second and third wife that he had, other than Michelle, the daughter of Saul. Then they came together after God had shown Saul that I can deliver you into David's hand and you won't even know it. See, this is what renders your weapons of war useless. See, your weapons of war are no good, man. They're no good. If it's not God's will for your weapons of war to prosper, they're no good. I don't care how much you tested them. The Most High sits back and laughs at you in derision. I mean, scornfully. This fool. Who do you think he is? Unless God grants it, it is not granted. I don't care how many gods you have or who you worship. You can say, well, your Allah is different than the God but Allah only means God. But either way, you can say you're Muhammad or through your Jesus or whatever. But when God says no, that's what it means. When God says I am that I am, that's what he is. God can allow you to set off a nuke and it'll never go off. Matter of fact, it might even blow up where you are. You don't know. This is why the children of Israel, the children of Jacob, I'm talking about the true children of Jacob, pray. This is why we seek God in our endeavors. This is why we ask God, shall we go forth? Shall we do this? Shall we do that? This is why we do it. Or it could be detrimental to our existence. In chapter 27, 1 Samuel chapter 27, in verse 1, David said in his heart, I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. This is kind of funny. There is nothing better for me than I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines, and Saul shall despair of me to seek me any more in my coast of Israel, so shall I escape out of his hand. Because he knew that Saul would say one thing, but then this evil spirit comes upon Saul. He'd been with Saul for years, and he knew that Saul can say one thing and he can repent of it. And then next thing you know, here's Saul, he's wishy-washy. So this is what David come up in his heart. So I shall escape out of his hands. And David rose, and he passed over with 600 men. And there were with him unto Achish, the son of Maoch, king of Gath. And David dwelt in Achish, at Gath, and he and his men, every man with his household, and even David and his 2 wives, and Ahinoam and the Jezreelites, and Abigail, Nabal's, his wife, his widow, We'll put it that way. It's none of his wife. He's dead. But his widow, she used to be his wife. Now, this is a good thing. I mean, if you marry a woman, she has children, that's okay. But if she's a widow or if she's one that, widows are better. If you're going to deal with a woman with children, widows are very better. Because therefore you have not that part where you have to deal with the children's father. Maybe their family, but that's it. I mean, in most men's minds, this is the thing that they think. They rather deal with a widow. Or one that is, if a man is incarcerated for life and has no proof of coming out, then they will probably deal with him too. Deal with her too. But most likely a widow or one who has never married or had children. And it was told Saul that David was fled to Gath, and he sought no more for him again. So Saul, I won. And David said unto Achish, if I have now found grace or favor in thine eyes. See, grace is not just by, you can receive my grace, but have not been my friend, have not been in my presence, have done nothing, but you want my grace, my favor. I have not proved you. No, it don't work like that, my friend. Christians, you got it wrong. Grace. You say grace as though it's like you can pick it out the tree like an apple that's growing in a big orchard or something. Like it's just free for the taking. Grace, favor. Don't work like that. You earn grace. You have to earn it. And that's through his laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. Now, and David said unto Achish, if now I found favor in thine eyes. In other words, I'm your friend, you find me trustworthy. Let them give me a place in some town in the country that I may dwell there, for why should thy servant dwell in the royal city with thee? And Achish gave him Ziklag that day. Therefore Ziklag pertaineth unto the kings of Judah unto this day. And the time that David dwelt in the country of the Philistines was a full year and 4 months. And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and the Gezrites and the Amalekites, and for those nations were of old the inhabitants of the land, as goeth to Shur, even unto the land of Egypt. Now this here was what God had gave them. God said from what? The Euphrates all the way to the brook of Egypt, at the border of Egypt, which is the Nile, is your land, Israel. And this is what the people that were placed there are trying to seek, is the original lands of the Israelites. And that's not so. You're not going to get it. I mean, all the way from where those who have went before the Jordan and then they've placed their lands there, because all that land of they say the Arab lands all the way down the Euphrates, all the way down is the land of Shem. It's part of Africa. It is Africa. It's northeastern Africa. Yes, it is. Far northeastern Africa. It's not the Middle East. It is the far east of Africa. Northeast of Africa. That whole belt line belongs to the children of Shem. Now you have over even more where you have the Hamites. That's from the brook of Egypt all the way even into America if you go by the Pangean maps. Because people travel, people go, and even the Bible that you have that was written by Greeks said the land was not divided, neither was the people at that time. And that's plain as day. I mean, unless you're going to say, well, how can you make that the way you want it to be? So the earth really is not as old as these lying scientists say, or misguided or miscalculated guidance say. The earth is not millions of years old. You have been greatly deceived. No, 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 no. Our God is going to tarry with you that many days. No way. If the earth is millions of years old, then the Bible is a lie. Everything in it is a lie. The earth is as old as the Bible puts the dates, period. And all of this is unprovable, not the millions of years, no matter how they do. You got to go by trees. They go by trees. They go by their little carbon dating, but that's just hypothesis. That's all it is. And you have those that argue this earth is not that much. Even the hypothesis of carbon dating only goes back about 7,000 years, maybe less. They can't go back no more than that, really. So they've gotten you too. You read the argument. Read about the argument between the Christian scientists and the, should I say, the regular scientists about carbon dating and the historical accounts of the years. I mean, you have to look it up, Google it, whatever. But it has been documented, and it's in a documentary. I read it years ago. But I still remember to this day. The earth is not that old. Well, back to what we were saying. Now, verse 7. And the time that David dwelt in the country was a 4 year and 4 months. And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and Gezites and Amalekites, and those nations were of old the inhabitants of the land, as goeth to shore, even to the land of Egypt. He was getting the borders of Jacob, the children of Jacob. See, David was trying to carry a man after God's own heart. He's doing God's work here. God says, I'm giving you this land. He told Abraham what land he was giving him. Apparently, David knew the old writings. And Achish said, whether ye have made a road today, and David said, against the south of Judah and against the south of the Jerahmeelites, and against the south of the Kenites, and David saved neither man nor woman alive, as God has commanded Israel not to do, because God gave them ample time to get out of the land. God gave them ample time to get out of the land. From the time of Egypt, where he was really getting rid of them, to the time where the children of Israel came to the Jordan, God gave the Canaanites time to leave, but many of them didn't. They didn't get the memo, or they just threw the memo in the garbage and didn't take it seriously. These were the bees. These were the different animals and all the things that crept and haunted these people, and they did not leave because it was not their land. Period. After the flood, God divided the land, and the land was given a portion to the Hamites, a portion to the Shemites, and a portion to the Japhites. Now, as far as the Canaanites, Canaan himself was warned by his own father, don't go there. This is in the book of Jubilees and Jasher. He told them, don't go there. No good will come to your children. They already knew. So those of you who say, well, these people, they're just trying to take their land back. No, they're not. It's not theirs. If anything, God will run them out. God got it handled. He knows what he's doing. And it's up to us to know and understand. If we don't know God, we need to understand why, what, and where he's going. Understand it. And it's all written before you. Deuteronomy 28, if we don't understand that, then we lost truly. Why are you suffering? Why are you going through with these people? Why they cannot part from their evil ways towards you or their hatred towards you? Deuteronomy 28 is right there. Now, if you would, save yourself and turn from your evil ways, then you'll be okay. But nevertheless, David saved nothing, not even him that was sucking on the breast. He didn't save anything. Oh, David was sadistic. No. You're gonna pin that on God. David was just carrying out what God had told Israel to do, and they did not do it. He told Joshua. Joshua died. He couldn't finish it. Caleb, he was doing the work, but he died and he couldn't finish it. He was still fighting. And then in the book of Judges, this is his continuation of the book of Judges, really. It's just a major part of what happened. They still was doing what seemeth right in their eyes according to the infiltration of the mindset of the Canaanites. They were serving Canaanite gods and Egyptian gods whom, when they came out of Egypt, they were still in a paganistic state of mind. So let us call a buck, and many of you still celebrating these Easters and Christmases and Halloweens and all these other things that come across your mind because this is the way it has been and this is the way you say it's going to be. But either way, he says, so did David, in verse 11, so will be this manner all the while he dwelleth in the country of the Philistines. Now, verse 12, and Achish believed David, saying, he hath made his people Israel utterly to abhor him. Therefore he shall be my servant forever. So he thinks. Now, a man after God's own heart, still conquering lands according to the commandment of the Most High for the children of Israel. He went over there not to just to save himself from Saul, not that he was going to serve these people forever, but to serve the Most High forever. Yes, he is. Now, you go back again, he did not save nothing. Gath, lest they should tell on us, saying, so did David, and so would we be this manner, and all the while he dwelleth in the country of the Philistines. David had something else in mind. God did too, and the Philistines did not know it. They were in the wrong. Philistines were in the land of, they were Canaanitish people in the land of Shem. And they were the thorn in the sides that Israel left in their own sides. And if we do those things that are right and get rid of those things that offend and cause God to be on our bad side by doing what he says in his commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws, we will have what you would call peace.
Walk with me.